Hey everybody, it's Britt and Cammy with Empty Nest to Travel, and we are going to be talking today about our trip to Puerto Rico.
We went to Puerto Rico this year. A lot of times we go to Mexico, and when Trump started talking about carpet bombing Mexico, the cartel, we was like, we're out. We're not going there this year. Now our trip to Puerto Rico, we'll talk about some of the expenses that we had, which was the trip was a little different for us because we had to look at different options than we normally do.
First, the airlines. We flew Southwest this time instead of...
Yeah, we always fly American, and we picked Southwest, which there's actually quite a bit of difference between the two.
Yeah. Well, actually, the cost even to get to Puerto Rico was a lot cheaper than it was to Mexico.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was about half price of
Yeah.
what we normally pay when we go down to Mexico.
That was pretty exciting.
But we took Southwest, and people that fly Southwest, they know we'd never done it. You don't get to pick your seat, and you basically got to hold your phone down and press the little button as fast as you can to try to get the earliest seat that you can possibly get. And they divide you up into different categories based on how fast you press this stupid button.
And then you're like in a cattle chute when you're lined up to get on the airplane. But I think some people have it figured out on how they can get on the airplane fast.
Yeah, that was total trash.
I mean, there are people that cannot walk and do require wheelchairs, and I totally understand that. But when you see them get pushed up to the gate in a wheelchair, they get up from that wheelchair, walk to go get something to eat.
Yeah, go get snacks, go walk around a little bit.
The whole time, and then come back and sit in their wheelchair to get on the airplane first.
Yeah, because if you're in a wheelchair, you get to board first.
And I've never seen so many people in
There was
wheelchair.
like 50 of them on our flight.
It was something else. And then, they walk on the airplane and walk all the way to the back, sit down, and walk off the airplane. And I don't know.
They said Southwest is changing up. I don't know.
It would change just right after we went.
Oh, did it? Because I was about to say, I'm not flying Southwest again if that's... American was a lot better. I enjoyed American better. The other thing we do in Mexico, Ubers are everywhere, so we never rent a car. We just catch an Uber to wherever we're going to go. And a lot of places we go in Mexico, we do a lot of walking. So,
and everything that we've wanted to do has been pretty close, So
yeah,
really
we pick an area and really check it out.
And Puerto Rico is a little different.
Yeah, so we rented a car there. And we haven't really done much rental car because most places we travel we either drive or, like I said, we'll do Uber or taxi.
A lot of walking, just stay
a lot of walking.
Area.
Or if we had to sign up for one of the trips that come pick us up. So we rented a place. I got on Priceline, looked up that, and there was a deal for the week. We needed a 4-door car because there was 4 of us, so we could get around together. And it was supposed to be like a Camry type, which ended up being I can't remember, something like a Camry, but it wasn't a Camry. But it was $330 for the week to rent it, which wasn't a bad price. I was pleased with that. But when we rented it, it was rented under Ace. And with Ace, that's not really the name of the company when you get there.
Yeah, we got off the airplane, found where we had to go to get all the rental cars, and we looked all over for Ace, and we couldn't find the sign for it. We knew it was supposed to be at the airport.
So I found their number, I called them, and they was like, oh yeah, we got a shuttle, we'll come get you. Just get on the shuttle and then come to us. And this was, how late at night?
Probably 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock at night. It was dark. We're not real good with Spanish. So we're kind of struggling with that. Can't see what's going on. And then, of course, Cammy starts texting or looking stuff up online about...
Well, first of all, our daughter, when she was younger, always talked about she wouldn't park by a white van because she always thought it was a kidnapper van. So what comes to pick us up?
Yeah, white van. So she starts flipping out, and then she starts getting me all amped up about they're kidnapping us.
What? I mean, you hear this all the time. Next time I'm just going to let you die.
And so I'm trying to bring her back down to earth, and we get there. I tipped the guy. The guy was great. The guy was wonderful. We get there, and it's a local company, and the name of it is Charlie's. It's actually a very good company. I think they had a 4-star rating when we got there. They were very helpful, helped us through the whole process, made everything easier. I actually liked it once. If I'd have known, it'd have been even better that it wasn't on the airport, because San Juan and the airport, and it's very busy. That way we were kind of not in the busy part, and they drove us in on the taxi, so I didn't have to mess with trying to figure out where I was in a busy area.
There's a big speed bump.
Yeah. In fact, yeah, I'd read on the roads, and I'd seen people talk about how terrible the roads were, but really I thought the roads were pretty decent.
Not as bad as I was expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting a whole lot worse.
Big potholes you hear.
Yeah, we seen a couple potholes. It wasn't bad. Yeah. I mean, I've been New Mexico has a whole lot worse roads than they got.
It's just the speed bumps that were.
Speed bumps. Oh yeah, they're not like marked or anything. The first one got me. I think I rocket launched the car. I was like, oh great, I'm gonna have to pay for the ripping it off, the oil pan off or something. But I didn't. It didn't. But yeah, the speed bumps, they're pretty big, and they're probably every 5 miles or something. There's a speed bump. Yeah. So the speed limit's only like 45.
I actually hit a few of them coming in that night because it was pretty late. By the time we got the car and everything, it was almost 1 o'clock when we made it to our destination.
So we had that rental car, and I kind of enjoyed driving around the rental car. We went wherever we wanted to, except for San Juan is horrible. I did not enjoy driving in San Juan. We were looking, in fact, they have places to park there. You got to pay to park, and we were trying to get to one so we could walk around and look there. We walked around, we missed the turn several times. There's people that go down the wrong, supposed to one-way street, and they're driving down the wrong way.
Traffic was backed up. People were like ditching their Ubers and taxis to get out and walk because it was easier to get. It was easier.
Yeah. In fact, whenever I found the parking spot, the place to park where you pay them and then you can park, Cammy asked me, well, how much was it? I said, I don't care if it's $100. I'm parking right here just to get off the road for a little bit. But we walked around San Juan, and San Juan was fun to walk around, but we didn't go back to San Juan after that. That was enough of driving San Juan for me. Now the insurance, whenever we did rent the car, the insurance on it, they use your insurance, and then they charge your card, whatever your deductible is, if you bring the car back in, like you had it. And they even told us that before you leave, make sure you videotape the whole car so you can prove what it looked like before you got it. So we did that, but
you were getting every little scratch.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure I was like, okay, what does this mean? Especially after Cammy is telling us we're kidnapped and all this other stuff. Anyway.
Next time I'm just going to let them know.
So they charge your card, and then they give it back to you at the end of the trip once you are finished and bring the car back in one piece. We stayed in a gated community or a gated apartment complex. Had free parking. Yeah, we were able to stay here for the whole week. I think it was like $1,350. We were up on the second floor, so we had a balcony overlook. And this apartment complex is just in a little town, Loaiza, which is just east of Old San Juan. We enjoyed this a lot better. It's not near as big as San Juan, not near as busy, so We got a little grocery store just down from us that the locals use. And it was just a lot more laid back atmosphere. Yeah, this is Costamare Beach Village, and they got a couple of pools, and of course you got the ocean view right there. You actually go out in the ocean. Next time we come, and there will be a next time, maybe we see if we can rent one of the buildings up on top so you got a roof view. I don't know if you can rent those or if those are just some people that live there always, but I'll find out. If you need to work on your short game, there's a little putting green. On the property, they have these sea grapes, and locals use them to make, or I guess Puerto Rico uses them to make wine and jellies with. We did taste them. These aren't ready, but they get purple when they're ready, and they're pretty sweet. The seeds are humongous in them. We found one of the sea grapes that's ripe, but that's the color they get whenever they're ripe. And then you can see how big the seed is in there. Whoops.
Tie him to the back of
Watch this.
the lever there. Like that.
They even had a gym that wasn't nothing fancy, but it suited us to be able to get a workout in during the week. Gave me crap my chewing gum. He's gonna blow a bubble here in a minute. The big one's probably gonna take it from me. Going after. He's trying to make it back to this hole without that big one seeing it. Did it?
Yeah, he got it. The guy didn't take it.
Outsmarted you, dude.
He's gonna reach down that hole and yank him out.
So what we got for $1,350 for the week out of our Airbnb was this place here that has 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. In case one of us got sick, we could separate ourselves. I think they could actually probably rent this out. Looks like with the locks at two separate places. Little kitchen. refrigerator, washer and dryer. Now the shower, here's the water heater. So whenever you hop in the shower, you gotta be diligent about your business, or you're gonna be taking the cold one. The outlook. Place to sit to eat. The bathroom. And the other bedroom. I know whenever we had to get a hold of the people through the Airbnb, they were real responsive and helpful. If you come to Puerto Rico in the summer months too, they had these little doors that you could automatically close, kind of help keep the heat out, because it can get humid here. And we were here in December, and the weather is magnificent.
We highly recommend visiting Puerto Rico. Until next time, Empty Nest to Travel, signing off.